Greetings and wholeness, and thank you for aligning with this video and our frequency. Yes, so as you can tell by the title, that we are going to elaborate on this more. And if you would like to, put anything in there, let us know in the comments. So, what does an inorganic economy look like?
Inorganic or artificial economy, which we're in right now, and it's just when it's one that's not into a nature at all, not into the natural laws of this realm and the God-given rights, where dogs have more rights than us. Dogs don't pay rent. Dogs are getting fed for free and all that, and we gotta pay for rent. We gotta pay to live here, pretty much. We gotta pay to eat food. We gotta pay. A lot of us are even struggling with our detox and our cleansing protocols because we don't got enough, fiat currency to even supply what our body needs to take care of ourselves. Hence why a lot of people that go plant-based or vegan or paleo or I don't know, some kind of, high conscious eating cannot even, keep it up, maintain it at the level they really want to because of this, artificial environment, this artificial economy, bestowed upon us. So that's examples of the artificial economy.
Yes, and just naturally renting, where does that money go to? It's just going towards someone else's benefit and not yours at all, paying to live is wild. And yes, people will be like, just say you broke then. And I'll be like, nah, even if I had money, I would rather be doing more self-sustaining things. It's going towards
environment,
more
community, economy.
Yes, and benefiting other organic economies, right, in other places in the world, right?
We'll create our own organic economy for our own people as well, which everyone should be doing as well too, for their own demography as well too. This will create more harmony and balance in this realm. We got to all be doing this because right now there's certain demographies that are more at the that's creating an imbalance within each of the groups on this realm.
Yes, and we can just tell what an inorganic environment looks like. Like when you go in nature, you're like, oh, thank God, and of course we will be like, oh, thank God, with the resources that we receive in these stores, but at the end of the day, they all came from nature. They all came from the earth. They are just being held hostage in a prison, with cell numbers.
They're using, they use ransom notes, aka fiat currency, to free it out and use it, So naturally a God-given right.
Wow, I remember what's his name? Pharaoh was talking about that.
Yeah, shout out to Pharaoh's house.
Yes. So we can tell that it's inorganic because what organic place, in general, has a bunch of barcodes on them in order to receive a fruit off of a tree or some leaves, to put in your juicer.
People be out here hustling, soursop leaf teas. Hey, go ahead, do your thing. We support you guys, and it's like, damn, that's a free resource,
We are, and some people literally cannot, because it's just so ingrained in them, that artificial intelligence, that they cannot even receive a free thing. And that's what nature does, but by nature. And so, we have to charge people for free things, knowledge, wisdom, all of that, of
and
course doesn't come with
that.
Exactly, and gatekeeping,
these terminologies,
because people truly don't value free.
Yeah, because they're still we're still operating, all of us, most of us, highly on an artificial mind view of values. We have artificial values.
Yeah.
So that's why they can receive different quote unquote free. It shouldn't be called free. It should be called just what it is. Per se.
Yes.
But we're still operating from that where even the fact where people can even live in organic environments but still operate artificially. Where how come people have like hectares of land but no community? It's just one family tops, if it is a family, and it's like and it's just them, all this land, and they're just kind of hoarding it and not really reaching out and having an organic mindset to have a community on the land. So it's like that.
Yes, that's right. You really see, well, I feel like, especially in the line of work that we're in, we see how much people hoard their resources and their lack of mindset, lack mindset. Like if I give this to someone, then what will I receive? What will I get? I'll be left with nothing, and all that garbage. Just artificial
faith as well too. Artificial faith as well too, and belief systems as well, where they say,
okay,
and yes, for the artificial faith, a lot of folks, faith only go as far as fiat currency allows, and we all are subjugated to that margin, in to some degrees, but some people just have it less, and some people have it more, and it's being very aware of that. Where it's like, yeah, they may have the same beliefs as you, etc., but now hold that level of faith, because faith, is exalted within the organic realm, not in the artificial realm.
Yes, and I feel like it is even more expressed when we have nothing.
Exactly.
We have to express that faith.
It exalts. Like now, it takes it steps in in the front, and it really shows you like how you're taken care of. Because even in the artificial realm, we have no money at all. Things pop up, and you're like, how is that? And you cannot use logic to theorize it. Per se. You know what I mean? You can't. It's just like you know how it's gonna come, but we want to know, have control. Again, this is more artificial. Of how things are going to come to us, how we're going to be provided for as well too. Of course, within rational realms, of course too, right? And it's scary, and people just rather just double down more on the artificial, side of things.
And honestly, we need to get back to when we all came together, made it rain, made it sun. Okay, by dancing, singing, all of that, we get our needs met all together.
Just be together.
Exactly. And I feel together. Like an inorganic world, it literally feeds artificial independence, and like you have that artificial like currency, and because the real currency is our connection.
And there's so much fear type behind that currency, behind those ransom notes. A lot of people be just like doing a thing. I don't know, digital nomad, laptop, whatever, remote job stuff, whatever it's called. That's cool, of course. Keep doing your thing, of course.
But they also lack social skills.
Some might have it too. Some might have that too as well.
Okay.
But regardless, but they lack the organic mindset of coming together and actually community, being in commune, because they feel like if you have no money and I do, now they feel threatened. They feel in fear. Like they don't have that respect, that
lack
organic
mindset,
respect.
Again, lack of mindset that we all have roles. Exactly. Our role is not your role. My role is not his role.
Yeah, someone's a healer. Someone takes care of the water or something. Someone takes care of these, the sugar canes or something like that. I don't know.
Someone takes care of the children. Some of people take care of the adults. Some take care of the marriages. Some take care of like.
Some are strong. Some are weak. Some are handicapped.
And it's the fact that we don't value those roles unless they make current artificial currency. But we know that organically we need every single one of these people on our team.
Exactly.
You know?
We're all here for a reason. That guy with one leg or something like one arm or even mentally disabled, possibly two as well, whatever it may be, you know, there's a lack of that, you know, that organic birthright. We're all here for a reason. We all came to this run for a reason, despite of how our vessels look like, you know. And there's no respect for that.
Yes. Again, because of our artificial value systems, if we even have any. You know, but yeah, the mindset of, you know, artificial independence is ridiculous because that artificial currency is just a medium, the middleman, you know, because at the end of the day, you still need a postman, you still need a person to drive that water to you, you know, you still need that person to
give you a pay stub.
Yes, to make sure that the garbage like goes on time, you know. So it doesn't all just stay in your house, you know, like we're paying all of this for a reason, you know. And
we got organic kids. Okay.
Yes, and it's just seeing that, oh, you know, I pay my taxes, blah blah blah, but that is the middle. Like you're not seeing the connection between all of those people are very important and valuable in your life.
Yeah, because it's a ghost community. Well, you're in common, but it's ghosted. There's no emotional, spiritual, physical value to it, you know, and support to it. You just everyone's kind of doing their own thing, but there's no like no one is seeing that there's a connection between all of us, the mailman, the post person, the worker, etc. You know,
the garbage trucker, the water deliverer, the cleaner, you know, community cleaner,
and that breeds fear, the fear of not knowing. You know, and the basis of fear a lot of times comes from, you know, these cash value systems that we have in our minds, in our mindsets. You know, it prevents us from building with each other because we value that more than we value each other. People would rather feed dogs, rescue dogs, but not rescue human beings.
Yes, even though they call themselves humanitarians, but
or Christians or whatever they are. I don't know.
Who you helping? Who you helping?
Exactly.
You know? So nonetheless, we're like saying this to you know, mention that it is important to create organic connections, you know, not treating people like, you know, like robots, you know, like, oh man, why don't you get this together, blah blah blah, this and that, you know, like not taking in consideration that they're people.
You gotta stand on your own 2 feet.
Oh yeah,
not everyone has 2 feet. Okay, not in this realm. Okay.
Wow.
But they're your people. Take care of them.
Yes. And that only breeds karma, you know, like not taking care of one.
Yeah, then you're gonna triple down on this, you know, the fear-based cash value system. You know?
Yes, it doesn't benefit anyone by being selfish and lonely, to be honest. Like people pay people to be their friend and be their companion and all of that. Because again, like we're missing the point. Like community is valuable. No matter what it looks like. And we, you know, the reason why we don't want such intimate community is because we don't want people seeing our ugly side, our dark side, our anger, our rage, our grief, all of that. But that's not for just us to hold. It's for all of us to hold. You know, like and I know that sounds very like, you know, all up in the air and everything, but that is our role as community. Naturally, you wouldn't be angry all of the time because like when people are around you, like naturally, you know, like they lift you up. They lift you up
because your anger is not their anger.
Yes. And then not only that, but it just shows like when we're alone, we're sad and angry and all of that. And then when we're together with like valuable people, you know, like it's just like I don't even care about those things anymore. Like
it's you're in a different world.
Yes, and not only that, and it shows you that sometimes like you're so high in spirit, you don't even eat, bro. You don't poo, you don't pee. Like you're like a child, you know.
Please poo though.
Yes.
Shout out to our our link down below for the enemas. Spirit enema PDF and other PDFs as well too, regarding to enemas and cleaning out. Shout out and please poo.
Yeah, like children when they watch like their favorite shows or they're with their favorite person.
They'll poo right there.
True.
They're not gonna move.
Exactly.
Like, no, I can't miss this.
And that's what we do naturally, organically. And we're missing the point. Like, for instance, how like people that look like us, when we all come together, we're beaming. We're solar beings. We've become all like one giant sun.
We are vivid. We're lucid.
Yeah.
Naturally, our energy bodies are more reinforced. Naturally, it's just being together.
And it's wild because like when we go back into like that like concrete like prison, jungle, like we completely forget about that and go numb. Forget all about our like our joy, when we come together. That's why also people make money from events, because we need it. They know that we need this,
Yeah, exactly. Healing events. Short-term healing events.
And all of it is healing when we come together. Even if it's not healing, and it's like ratchet, a rib fest and all those other stuff, like it's still healing being all together, And that's why like it was healing for communities to come together when the grandmothers like held these events at her home and, aunties or whatever, on holidays, because that's when the slaves can get out, and not feel like a slave all that much, and maybe revolt.
Yeah, as far as that,
but anyway,
concept goes,
like it is like important. It's very important. Like we see the anger, the sadness that we get. Our bodies, like we weren't born by ourselves. I don't know whoever says like lone wolves, but like we weren't born by ourselves. We were born with a bunch of people surrounding us.
Organically, yes, that's
organically, regardless, like
in some kind of range.
With a mask or not, with gloves or not, but we were not meant to be isolated, so it's artificial thinking that we can be independent. It's very important to be interdependent. We all thrive and need each other. There's not a world, there's not a little like culture. Their system literally needs people or else it will be done. That's why they need more children to be born, because their system needs people.
It's obsolete. It leads to being obsolete. That's what it leads to. It's not a immortal, thing, a longevity thing. It's not. It's already crashing. As we speak. You see the prices are rising up, etc. But there's even organic communities of other demographies out there that are in a more thriving state than other demographies, because they already established or organic
social economy.
Economy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Their social economy.
Where they're in the opportunity economy, some of them are whatever it is, but they can go into that and take out and bring it back to their economy.
To their organic community.
So they're a different operation where other folks, are not like that. They're in it and it's going nowhere.
And that's it. That's all they know. That's all they know.